now that we're a couple of months into it, it seems like most businesses who can work from home have managed to make the shift to a certain extent. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit because I know you had just put out that survey on LinkedIn, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about that. I remember hearing some of the numbers about it, and it was kind of mind blowing. So,
Yeah, so the survey was just a 4-question survey asking whether they wanted to, well, knowing that we're getting ready to open, that we're in stage 1 at this point of opening up, and asking how many people were ready to go back to work full time, how many would like to go back part time, how many want to continue working from home, and how many already work from home. And only 17% of those responding said that they were ready to go back to the office full time.
hmm, interesting.
Yeah.
And that includes people presumably who have kids at home. I imagine that's not the easiest circumstances to be working under. So I would have expected more people to say that they would want to go back to the office.
Mm. Yeah,
You
and
surprised by that?
I've had conversations with a lot of people about
Okay.
this, and some of them have said that they definitely like working from home, but they don't like working from home with their kids there because
Okay.
it's
Right. Okay.
disruptive.
Right. Okay.
So they, once the kids go back to school, then working from home is much more appealing.
Ah,
Um,
okay. I got
and
you.
others have said that they actually like the fact that they've got the two spouses are at home,
Hmm.
and so they kind of take turns monitoring the kids, and that works out well.
Okay. So 17%. So that's 83% of people want to be working from home after this all
Yeah,
blows over,
at least part time.
at least part-time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people have figured it out? Are people working as productively and as efficiently as they could be as they were before? Or is it still a work in progress, do you think?
I think that they're working differently. I don't know honestly, I don't know how productive people are in the office. There's a lot of time spent uh, chatting with other people and other things. So, the fact that they're in the office for 8 hours doesn't necessarily mean they're that productive. I think that what needs to change if people are really going to work from home is that there need to be some KPIs, key performance indicators, where weekly they have things that they're accomplishing and they've shown that they've accomplished it. So it's going to be, the shift has to be more accomplishment based than sitting in front of a computer or pretending you're at work, you're working all
Right,
day based.
right.
And once that happens and people understand that, I think um, it's very easy to work from home.
Okay. What do you think are the areas that need the most work? Like, where are people doing well, and what's lagging?
I think the number one thing that seems to be working well is the fact that there are things like this, the video conferencing,
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're staying in touch with each other through the video conferencing. Email has always been a positive thing, people being able to interact with email. But just like with email, yeah, it's taken a while for people to get in the groove of working with email, and each company has its culture. Some you wouldn't dare write an email that didn't say, "Hi, how are you today?" And other places it's like, just tell me what you need. So it's going to be the same thing with video conferencing. It's, people are going to have to
Mm,
learn kind of the norms of the organization.
gotcha. Gotcha. And how about in terms of people getting things to each other? I think a lot of the larger companies are already kind of cloud-based
Mhm.
with the way that they work, of sharing documents, whatnot. How about the smaller businesses?
Yeah, I mean, this is why we developed Attaché for Business, was for small businesses to be able to get the documents they need, be able to work together, and have a common place, a common hub for the things that they need access to. And I think that the more that work remotely, the more they need something like that.
Right. what would you say? I'm just curious to know if you've heard any really great stories in terms of like a huge success or something heartwarming. And any, I know you've been talking to a lot of people
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah, I think that the thing that I've heard probably that's the most heartwarming actually is related to Zoom or
Hmm.
or video conferencing. And I've heard that some people say that they actually feel like they know their coworkers better through it than they did
Hmm.
before. And I think there's a real aspect of being at home, or even putting a background, a green screen background behind you. What people choose is sometimes
Right.
sometimes revealing in a way that they
True.
didn't know. So I think that's probably the most heartwarming thing. It's like, people have actually said, I actually feel like I know my coworkers better now than I did
Hmm.
before when we were going into the office all the time. You kind of take the shield down.
Oh, absolutely. I can definitely relate to that. I think it's really disarming to be talking to a colleague and their toddler comes up to the screen or their kitten comes up to the screen and it's just really sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
It humanizes everybody for you.
Exactly.
It's kind of ironic, right? It's through the electronic medium, but people seem more human because of it.
It's very strange, but it's absolutely true.